Hello, hello, hello. I'm Andrea Stevens,
And I'm Jeanette Mejias, and we are Webs Women.
where exposure brings strength. How are you, my godly woman friend? How are you today?
I'm fabulous. It's good to see you. It's good to be on the mic. And I'm really excited that we're able to record on International Women's Day. So how
Yes.
fitting that it landed on the day that we launch our weekly podcast. So that's pretty exciting. So wishing you a happy International Women's Day, and I hope that you're honoring yourself and taking the time to do that. Although, as we had said before, we feel it should be every day, but it's really nice to be able to take that time to pause and honor oneself and think about those that have been an influence to you. Because I know, strong women, they're not born, they're made, right?
They're made, baby. They're
They are
made.
made, and there's always going to be someone that is an influence and I feel that contributes to your strength. So is there anything or anyone that comes up
Yeah.
to mind for you, or?
Well, I mean, I want to honor you first for my partner in crime over here. I
Oh,
mean,
thank you.
without you, this wouldn't be. Without you, I wouldn't have had some of the strength that I needed in this last year. You know, my sounding board, the
Yeah,
one that says, do what you got to do, right?
yeah.
Yeah. And
Well,
so I want to give you props and I want to tell you how much you mean to me
thank
first and
you.
first
Thank
and
you.
foremost.
I appreciate that. And I
Absolutely.
echo the same. I'm very grateful for our friendship and, and for you being there for me, in times that were dark, when I was critically sick, you were there, no questions asked, just jumped in your truck and just drove and left me, some, gave me healing medicine, which was such a great thing. And I'm grateful for that and for you. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So first and foremost, you. And then, I want I want to honor my friend that passed in August. She is one of the first friends of mine that has started her own business young, when she was a photographer, and she was friggin' excellent at what she did. Even now, I didn't even realize until I think now that I'm in her, I'm at the home. I visit the house that she picked out before she passed and didn't get a chance to move in. And I get to see the pictures on the wall that she took when she was in New York City, even just on the train, the people that she took, the photos that she did, but not just that. We spoke last summer before she got sick. And last summer, was it? It would have been, no, it would have been before she was diagnosed. So that would have been probably, I'm so lost. It has to be about fall. I think I talked to her in the fall. It must have been of 2021, right? And we sat and, shot the shit. And she has always been such a support for me behind the scenes, privately. She has always supported me in everything. My book, my random texts that she would send me about things she saw on social media. But her mind worked like minded, looking like always thinking about business, like new business ideas and things like that. And I remember her sending me a text message saying, I got to talk to you about this business idea. And I was like, oh shit. And I'm not even going to say what the idea was at this point because it was good. And I was like, I am on board. I am behind you 150%. Like, I will help you any way I can. I'm not even going to give the idea out there at this point because I told her husband privately what she told me and he knew, but we laughed about it. But I want to honor her today specifically because she, no matter what she had going on, she paid attention to what everybody else was, what was going on with all of her people. Right. And she was always there behind the scenes, quietly supporting, never out in the open, never blast in your face. It was always behind the scenes, that support that you always needed. She did that for me for years. She was at the hospital. She came strolling in the hospital when I said, I'm headed to the hospital with my suitcase. When I was going to have Blake, she just showed up. She didn't tell me she was coming. She didn't say she just showed up with her, with Dylan in the stroller. And she just popped in the room, with a bag of things that I would need that I had no idea I'd need. She was always that quiet support and strength. She was a strength to her family. She was a strength up until the day she left us. And, it was, I want to honor her today without crying, but I miss her. I do. I miss her a lot.
Yeah. Well,
so, oof. Yeah. But I do want to honor her today, especially for everything that she's done as a mom, as a business owner, a businesswoman, anyway.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. And I'm glad that you thought of her and honoring her today. I think that is incredible. Sound like an amazing woman. And it's just so important, and her memories, always will live on, and the impact that she left in others, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she left you with impact. So
yeah.
thank you for
And the laughs.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah. I miss those laughs. I do.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I mean, for me, I've had a lot of different influences, throughout,
Mhm.
my, as a young girl, young adult, through the years. And but I do also want to highlight and recognize a pretty amazing woman that unfortunately just recently passed. Her name was Judy Human, and she was a disability rights icon. She was considered by many, really across the globe, as the mother, right, parentheses, of the disability rights movement. And she was just such an amazing supporter, to the parent center that I work for at SPAN, and a tremendous ally to all the parent center networks. But her advocacy, and I guess this is extremely important for those parents that have children with disabilities who may not know, but through her advocacy over 50 years, resulted in passing the Rehabilitation Act, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, which is a piece of American legislation, and the Americans with Disabilities Act. And all of this, these are landmark achievements that increase access to education, the workplace, housing, and so much more for people with disabilities. And as a mother of an adult son that has a disability, I am so incredibly thankful for this woman's fierce advocacy. She's paved the way for the community, the disability community. And if it wasn't for her doing all the things that she's done, there's no way our disability community would have thrived. And our students and young adults would have been able to access and have these and have equity, in these platforms. So I want to take that opportunity to honor her. And I'm really thankful for folks that came before me who has made it easier, at least a little bit easier, for us as parent advocates to, continue to navigate those services and systems. So,
Yeah. And most
yeah.
people may not know about her. I didn't know
Oh,
about her until we
right.
spoke about her before we started
I,
recording. I didn't,
yeah.
yeah.
And I didn't know about her until I got into my work. So it's just
Yeah.
going to show you, sometimes, we don't know like who's been behind all these things that's made life just a bit easier for us. Things just don't appear just to appear. There's always
Right.
someone behind the scenes, blood, sweat, and tears that through their, advocacy or the determination is why things, have materialized. So I think that, yeah, she's definitely deserving of that honoring today of all
Yeah.
days. Of course, you
Absolutely.
um, like I said, it should be every day, but I love the fact that we have one day that we can get to celebrate, honor, and reflect on those people that have made and marked a difference in our lives. So, and thank
Yeah.
you for making that difference in my life too. So,
Well, and thank you. Thank you. And, all women, today's your day.
that's
Today's
it.
your day.
Today's our day. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, sister. Yeah.
Ah,
Well, as always, Andrea, thank you for taking the time to hang out with me on the mic. Remember, everyone, you're listening to Webb's Women.
where exposure brings strength.